All right, so Shalom, Shalom. I want to start off by saying Brakatham, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom. All right, so title of this lesson is A New Day Coming, right? And when you understand it, right, night is the beginning, night is the end of the day, right? And the day is the beginning of a new day, right? Day means the beginning of a new day. When you understand it spiritually, right? Esau is the kingdom of darkness, is the kingdom of darkness, right? And that darkness goes into confusion, lostness, right? We're gonna go to First Thessalonians. I want to go to this real fast. And this lesson came through the spirit of how about watching the elders yesterday. We didn't get it done yesterday, but Lord willing, we're gonna get it done, right? This Revelation 16:10, right? It says the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, right? And his kingdom was full of darkness, and they yawned for their pain, right? I go into the, you know who that beast is, so-called white man, right? Because this is their kingdom, Babylon, right? This is their kingdom. This is Babylon, that great whore. This is their kingdom. This is their homeland, right? And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, right? Excuse me. And his kingdom was full of darkness, right? So this is a dark kingdom, right? This is a dark kingdom. It's a dark place, right? This place is full of darkness and iniquity. And when you understand spiritually, that darkness goes into the confusion, right? The iniquity, the sin, the loss. Babylon represents confusion, right? Of how Jake is lost, right? So there's a new day coming because we're in the night. This is a night. It's a dark kingdom. This is night, right? And there's a new day coming, right? Understand spiritually, right? And night means it's going to be into this kingdom, and a new day coming is the beginning of a new kingdom to come. The kingdom of Yahweh Shah. That's why Yahweh said what? I come light into the world, because he brought the understanding, right? Because everybody else was walking around lost. Let me see. We talked about this a little bit at camp. We talked about this a little bit at camp. There's a couple on I want to grab. I'm gonna grab Joe. I'll start with this one, right? But we talked about this a little bit at camp last. I want to say this was last Friday, right? About that going to Isaiah 6 in verse 2 is going to break out, right? But I'm gonna read this real fast. This Job 14, right? And this is like Job 5 verse 14 says, they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in noonday as in the night. So when you understand it, what does that mean, right? Groping is like you put your hand on the wall, you trying to find, you don't know where you're going, right? You're trying to find the light on the wall or whatnot, right? It's dark in your room, so you trying to put your hand on the wall so you can find a light, so you can put the light switch. Well, that's what Esau is, right? Esau, they're lost, they're confused. Even Jake, who followed Esau, they're lost and confused. What I mean by that is they'll never understand the true knowledge, understanding of how about Yahweh trying to get close to him, right? That's what that does. So that confusion, what they was cursed with. They'll never be able to understand, right? The knowledge of Yahweh to get close to Yahweh, Yahweh. And Jake that followed Esau, guess what? They gross darkness. They're confused, right? So matter of fact, let's go here. But this is Psalms. This is Psalms 82, right? In verse 5, it says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, right? So Esau, they walk on in darkness. So that's what they are, man. They walk on in darkness, man. They're confused. They're in that confused state. They're in that lost state, man. Right? They'll never understand the true knowledge of Yahweh Shah to get close to him. That's what they're cursed with, right? That's why they grope at noonday, right? Because they confuse their law. They think they know they got going on. That's why the scriptures before that, it talks about how the Most High gonna take the wise in their own. He's gonna take the wise in their own craftiness, right? He gonna take the wise in their own craftiness, man. Right? We'll go back to Job. That's why he tell them, because Esau think they know they got going on, but they don't know nothing, man. Right? Job 5:12 said he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And the enterprise, when they came over here to America, right? They needed a place to establish this dark. They needed a place to establish this dark empire, right? So they came over here to the Americas, right? But understanding that the Most High, I continue to read down, it says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong, understanding that everything they're building, they're using to try to go against Yahweh, he going to use that to destroy them. That's why he said they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in noonday as in the night, right? So, matter of fact, let's lock it for notification. Let's go to the NLT with that, man, right? See if it give a different definition of grope, right? But grope just meaning, we'll start at verse 12, right? Grope mean like, you put your hand on the wall at night. You put your hand on the wall, right? Trying to find that light, like you're groping, like as if you were blind, right? Job 5:12 in NLT, right, says, he frustrated the plans of the schemers so the work of their hands will not succeed, right? He trapped the wise in their own cleverness so their cunning schemes are thwarted. He said they find it's dark in the daytime and they grope at noon as if it were night, right? Because they children of the night, right? It tells you right here they find it is dark in the daytime because they're children of the night, man, right? They're children of the night. This is a dark kingdom. That's why a new day is coming, because a new day of Yahweh is coming, man. A new kingdom of Yahweh is coming. They walk in darkness. That's what they is. They grope in noonday as if it were daytime, because they'll never be understand the true knowledge of Yahweh. They grope, they're confused, they can't understand it. Right? They don't understand the prophecies. They don't understand the true understanding of the Bible. They don't understand none of it. And the Jake who follow them, they just as dark as well. Right? That's why we can go from here. We can go to Isaiah 60. Right? In verse 2, real fast, right? Matter of fact, I'll read verse 1. It says, arise, shine, for thy light is come. Who's that light? Yahweh Shah, because he come a light into the world. Right? And the glory of the Lord Yahweh is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, the confusion, the iniquity, the sin, the transgressions, all that what Esau professed, it covers the earth. It's a dark kingdom, right? That's why they won't be able to prepare themselves for the coming of Yahweh Shah, as we're going to go into it in a little bit. Read Matthew 25. You know the parable of the 5 wise and the 5 foolish, right? The other ones, they didn't bring that oil. What do you think that oil is? Right? That oil is knowledge and understanding. Because how can you prepare yourself for the bride coming? Right? Revelation 19:7 tells us, right? The bride makes herself ready for the lamb, really paraphrasing. How do we prepare ourselves? How do we overcome this place? How do we overcome this doctrine? Right? Through what? Through, right, the scripture tells us, right, Revelation 12:11, it overcame by the blood of the lamb and by the word of his testimony. What is his testimony? The spirit of prophecy. Right? And the spirit of prophecy, that's the spirit of Yahweh, bringing that knowledge to our remembrance, bringing that understanding to us, the light, so that in this dark kingdom, we understand how to walk. We understand where to go. We understand the steps to take. Right? It says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and the gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahweh shall rise upon thee, his glory shall be seen upon thee. And that's that, and his glory is coming upon it, and he brings knowledge and understanding unto us. Right? Now we're able to call on the righteous name of Yahweh. Now we're able to walk in his righteous oracle. Yeah, we're not perfect, but we're able to strive and push in those things. Yeah, we're able to overcome this battle of temptation through the spirit of power Yahweh. Yeah, we're able to take the proper steps on the narrow passage in this dark kingdom, in this dark place. Right? So let's go from there. Let's go to, let's see. Oh, that was Lamentations. Yeah, I appreciate what the elder brought out. What was that? Lamentations 2? Yeah, Lamentations 2:19. It says, arise, cry out in the night. That's what we doing. This is Elder Pastor Gabar brought us out at the camp they did, right? That's what we're doing. We're crying out in the night. It's a dark place. We're crying out, teaching, right? Calling on you how about you outside to deliver us from this place. Prophesying downfall of this place. He said the beginning of the watches pour out, in the beginning of the watches pour out thy heart like water before the face of the Lord. Lift up thy hands toward him for the life of thy young children that faint for hunger in the top of every street. But the point is right here, arise, cry in the night. Because we're in the dark kingdom. We're in a dark place. And what? Night is the end of the day, right? So if day is the kingdom, understand that the night is the end of this kingdom and a new day is coming. And day is the beginning of a new day, so it's the beginning of a new kingdom to come, right? And then in due time, that's why, matter of fact, let's go to it, right? Matthew 25, right? And that's why we have to be prepared, right? We have to prepare ourselves, for the new day to come, for the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. Because if we don't, we're gonna end with when we go to Thessalonians, right? If we don't, it'll be on us a thief of the night. But we're not of darkness, right? Because when does a thief come? A thief come in nighttime. A thief come in nighttime where you unprepared, where you sluggish, you lack, right? You're lazy, you're slothful, right? You want to lay down, you want to be all settled, comfortable, right? Conceited, right? That's what's going on in this place. Ain't nothing but pride, cockiness, right? Ain't nothing but people comfortable, people want peace, people push for all these things in this darkness. Cause that's what dark brain, that sluggish spirit, right? Cause it's a dark kingdom, so people think they can rest, they can be at peace, they can sit back. Nah, man, the thief coming tonight. That's why Yahweh Shai said, the day of the Lord comes a thief in the night, because it's gonna come when you ain't ready. But the ones who got the light prepare themselves, and that knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Shai gonna be prepared for this new day. They got their clothes set out for the new morning. They got the garment ready, man. Right? So that's right here. This Matthew 25, right? And I'll start at verse 1. It says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be like unto 10 virgins, which took their lamp and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish." Right? I got some right here. I got in my notes. They were all Israelites. Right? He said, and this is how Shai telling the parable. Right? It says, "They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them." Right? He said, "But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps." Right? It said, "While the bridegroom tarried, they slumbered and slept. And at midnight, there was a cry made at midnight." Are we not crying night? There was a cry made at midnight. What you think? Once again, what you think this now? What you think this oil is? What you think? What you think they brought for their lamps to continue to have light enough to be prepared for Yahweh Shai coming? That's the knowledge and understanding, man. That's His truth. That's His word, right? That's the spirit of Yahweh Shai bringing knowledge into them, right? Being able to understand, being able to study, being able to see the signs, the spirit of prophecy, being able to see the signs of things that are going on. 2 Ezra 9:1. Right? Being able to see the signs, being able to discern the times from the signs that Yahweh Shai give us to prepare ourselves. Right? It said, "At midnight there were a cry made, and behold, the bridegroom cometh." That's talking about Yahweh Shai, and the angels filling the sky, coming back to bring us back, right? It says, "Come ye out to meet him." Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps, right? Because the scriptures tell you, every eye gonna see him. Every eye gonna see him, right? Whether you prepared yourself or not, everybody gonna see him. Right? And a lot of you gonna see just how they gonna be looking crazy, how those ones who didn't bring they all they look crazy. That's how you gonna be, because you didn't prepare yourself to not understand how about Yahweh Shai. So you gotta think you got time, you gonna do this and that, you caught up in all this, you doing all this and that, right? You loving the world, you trying to get this new car, this new house, you don't got time for Yahweh Shai. So when he comes to thief of the night, calling all that to save you. Because the ones who follow this truth, do this word, who strive, who prepare themselves through knowledge to understand how about Yahweh Shai, prepare themselves for the times to come, right? He's going to be the one that will continue reading, right? He said, "The foolish said to the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are going out." Right? He said, "But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. Go you up rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves." And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Revelation 19:7, right? Now, let's bring it out real fast. We go back to that. It made me think of the precept Revelation 19:7, right? It says, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him. For the marriage of the Lamb," that Lamb is talking about Yahweh Shai, "is come, and his wife have made herself ready." Right? His wife is talking about the elect. How the elect made themselves ready? Through this knowledge and understanding how about Yahweh Shai, preparing themselves, building themselves up through this knowledge and understanding. Right? Being able to see the time, being able to see things going on, walking in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Focus on the marriage of Yahweh Shai. Or we focus on the marriage of Yahweh Shai, the spiritual marriage. We ain't caught up with nothing else. So we seeing the things that's going on around us, and we understand, oh, now it's the time when Yahweh Shai is coming to deliver us, man. It's getting closer and closer, right? It's getting closer and closer. We see it, right? So let's go back to Matthew 25, right? Matthew 25, and we at verse 10. It said, "While they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward, also the other verses said, Lord, Lord, open unto us." And maybe, as I was reading this yesterday, and I was reading it, meditating in the spirit, it made me think of also Luke chapter 13, right? When the door is shut, and you begin to stand without, you're knocking at the door. Right? And also maybe think of Noah in the ark, They ain't believe Noah. They ain't want to listen. They ain't for themselves. They ain't want to build their spiritual ark. They ain't want to listen. Right? So now, now when that trouble comes, don't be trying to, get away now. You had your time to prepare yourself. Right? It says the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. Right? But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. Right? I'm gonna actually bring that out. Luke 13 and 25, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Luke 13:25, it says, but once the master of the house is risen up and has shut the door, and ye begin to stand without and knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. He shall answer, saying unto you, I know you not whence ye are. Then shall ye begin to say, we have eaten and drunken in thy presence, thou hast taught in thy streets. He shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence ye are. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. Right? There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you shall see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all the prophets in the kingdom of Yahweh, and you yourselves thrust out, man. Right? Now, that's how they're going to be. That's how it is. They hurt. They came because they weren't prepared. They didn't prepare themselves. Right? They walking on in the dark with that slouthness. Us again, when nighttime comes, people just want to lay down. They want to be comfortable. They want to be cozied up in the heat, comfort up, watching TV. They want to be, that's how Jake is in Babylon. They want to be comfortable, sitting out thinking they got time, thinking that everything all good and everything all good. Man, this is the end of the day. The night is the end of the day, right? That's why the thief coming at night, because he know you lacking, right? He know you lacking. He know you preparing yourself, right? But we're children of the day, right? So we need to be preparing ourselves. The light, understand, we need to be standing on point. We need to be on our watchtower. We need to be sober and vigilant, looking around, making sure, right? Preparing ourselves, right? It says, verse 13, it says, watch therefore, for you neither, let's lock it. Verse 12 says, but he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour when the Son of Man cometh. Acts chapter 1, right? Only the Father knoweth, right? It said, for the kingdom of heaven, right? Oh, slack it. But that was the point, right? Verse 13 says, watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh, right? So you got to be on point. Right? Because they leave it to the next precept. You got to be on point because you never know when he come. Right? So let's go to 1 Thessalonians. Right? Like I said, Acts chapter 1, he was telling the disciples, asking when we return the kingdom, and he was telling them, hey, nobody know but the Father. Right? So this Acts, this 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, right? We'll start at verse 4. It says, but we start at verse 2, right? It says, I started verse 1, It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. The kingdom of Yahweh outside the day. The day is talking about the kingdom. Because when we know when Yahweh come back, he's going to come deliver the elect. He's going to destroy this place. He's going to deliver the elect. And we're going to be brought into the kingdom. Right? It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, the sudden destruction comes upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness. We're not in confusion. We're not in slackness. We're not slothful. We have the understanding. It said that day shall overtake you as a thief, right? Because we're not of darkness. I got right here in my notes, right? The elect are woke and see the day coming. We see it. We're woke. We ain't sleep. We ain't think about it. It's spiritual, man. It means spirit at night. What do people like to do? Like to go to sleep. But we not asleep. We woke. Right? As we woke. We woke in the spirit. That's why the spirit quickens. We woke. We're not dead. We're not asleep. Right? We're alive. We see it. We're alive through the spirit. How about you? We see it. We were woke. We pay attention to the sign. A new day is coming, man. It says, ye are children of the light and the children of the day. We're not of night nor of darkness. We understand it again spiritually, right? The day is talking about the kingdom. Because night is the end of the day and day is the beginning of a new day. Right? So it's the end of this kingdom. Because it's a night. This is a dark kingdom. This is night. Right? It's the end of this kingdom and it's the beginning of a new kingdom. And new kingdom comes, Yahweh Shah. Then chapter 2, a kingdom that will last forever. Right? He said, therefore, let us not sleep as do others. Let us watch and be sober. We got to watch and be sober. We got to be vigilant. We got to be on our point because a new day is coming, man. We got to be on point. Right? I got right here in my notes, right? The day is talking about the kingdom. Esau, the children of the night. The night means end of the day. The day means beginning of a new day. Right? So there's new kingdom coming. Right? The kingdom of Yahweh Shah. So we got to be preparing ourselves through knowledge and understanding, through the wisdom. Right? Wisdom and knowledge to be stability in our time. When all these signs, things going on, you won't be able to see these. You won't be able to see these signs if you sleep. If you caught up in the night. You gotta walk in the light. You gotta walk in the path. You about seeing outside, narrow passage. Remember, I've been harking on this a lot lately because it's things on the right, it's things on the right, and things on the left. Right? We had an incident. I won't talk too much, but we had to separate some brothers from the camp, a brother from the camp, because the things on the right and the left getting them. You got to be on point these last days. Yes, there's temptation coming, but there's a new day coming. Right? There's a new day coming, so we got to be on point at all times. We got to be on point so we can pay attention. Right? So we can be on point, so we can prepare ourselves through knowledge and understanding, build ourselves up in the faith, have that armor on us. So therefore, when the things in the night try to grab, what comes out at night? Right? The animals that like to prey on you. Well, that's Satan. He trying to get you. That's why his kingdom is full of darkness. Right? Satan trying to get you right now. You got to be on point, and you got to stay on that watchtower. Right? And walk in the light. How about seeing our shot so you can stay on that narrow passage and take the righteous steps, man. Right? So, Lord willing, right, let's was edifying and exalting. Right? And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom.